I'm very tired, so I'm going to make this very short. Once again, I have visual proof and I have continued to upkeep with my daily journal and do the things I said I was going to do. Today, I'm grateful for waking up on time, preparing for the day with excitement, and having a greater awareness of who I am. My goal, balancing my work with my daily adherence to the goals I set for myself. Today's targets: 20 minutes of Premiere Pro tutorial. Continue the tutorial you have been watching while taking notes. 20 minutes of line shape practice. Find another guide online to follow through with. Be sure to take notes and keep track of diet and exercise. Do your 30-minute cycle and keep track of what you put in your body. What will make today great? Achieving what I set out to accomplish with excitement and strength. Keep the winning streak going. The duties I had that I set for myself were taking a shower, which was accomplished, eating breakfast and logging it in, which was accomplished, mobility stretches, which was accomplished, 30-minute cycle, which was accomplished, 20-minute Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial, which I had to move all the way to the end of the day because so much happened. I'm not going to get into it. I'm way too exhausted. And going to work. Then I had a huge block right here, where that's reserved for my job because I gotta work, gotta make ends meet. And when I arrived home, I had leftover rotisserie Members Mark chicken, rice that I refried and seasoned with paprika and chipotle and salt and pepper, and green peas and black beans. So all of those, and I was watching a video about how to become a better learner, which was interesting. He had complex theories and things. I'm not getting into it. Then had to go back to work, or got to go back to work, I should say, because I have a job. And then when I got home, I had leftover spaghetti that was made for dinner today by my mom with meatballs and tomato sauce. Took a break watching a whole bunch of different videos with my mom as well, including the recently announced Project Stargate initiative, where there will be $500 billion invested into AI infrastructure to make AI develop at an accelerated pace. Apparently, there's not going to be any rules or regulations placed on AI until way after it's been developed. And this is done because there's apparently a race between the US and China to get AI super advanced before the other one. So that's interesting. 20 minutes of line and shape exercises, which I did. 15-minute creative block. I would consider earlier in the day when I went in the break room and wrote out how I was feeling, and as well as a few ideas that were popping in my head, onto my mini journal, which I actually owned for a little while here. I guess I could read that to you, so you know what I'm talking about. Idea. January 22nd, 2025, a grocery store that advertises what actually happens when you use their product, which I thought was a funny idea at the time. Could you imagine a grocery store that showed you what happens when you eat too many chips or donuts, and it shows like couch potatoes with big bellies like turning on the TV, and like advertising screens or little like clay models like placed throughout the store. I just thought it was an idea that made me chuckle, and I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, so that was the creative block. And then enjoy the rest of your day. It's 11:33. Luckily, I have tomorrow off. Going to adhere to the daily planner still, even on days off. Going to try to get in the cycling. Have a nice breakfast. Premiere Pro tutorial and the line and drawing tutorial. All those will be the big pillars still, no matter what. And speaking of pillars, that's what the notes here are. I went with that pillar design I was talking about last night. I think it works out pretty alright, although there was so much more information for Premiere Pro than I was expecting. Oh yeah, and I even have a daily thought section right here, if you can see that, where whenever a thought pops into my head about something random that needs addressing, I write it down. Like, it took 30 minutes to create daily journal. It took about 45 minutes to prepare, eat, and clean after breakfast. Getting better time awareness, because I've been told by our family friend that I don't have a sense of time. So I'm hoping that writing down how long it takes me to complete certain tasks helps improve that. So that's why I'm doing that. And then I wrote ideas like move Adobe to lunch. I didn't do the Adobe tutorial during lunch. I think that's actually a bad idea. I should focus all my energy on lunch and enjoying lunch, and then, go off and go back to work, and then when I return home, work on the Premiere Pro tutorial. Yeah, speaking of that, and then I said finished goals at 11:08, so it helps kind of give me that sense of how long everything takes and what nips and tucks I need to do to optimize my schedule flow. Here are the notes I took, but first let me read the quote for the day. They always place at the top end of the page. And this one says, what are you saying yes to that you should be saying no to? Very powerful. I think a lot of people say yes to a bunch of nonsense or baloney, and they kind of brush it off and say, oh, no big deal. It's only just an extra donut. It won't hurt. And before they know it, they ate the whole donut box, and now they've got diabetes. So yeah, that's a good lesson to keep in mind. Here are my Premiere Pro notes. Color lessons continued. What if we want to make colors pop? Go to HSL tab on the color option and click the eyedropper. Tap on the color you want to adjust. You can adjust settings like saturation and lightness until the select color is fully highlighted. You check this by marking the box that shows the highlighted colors. Once this is done, you can play with the color that you selected by going to the correction tab. If you notice color changes unintentionally affect other parts of the frame, it's because the object in the frame that is the same colors you selected, then the end result will be affected. It's because objects in the frame that are the same color as the object you selected with the eyedrop will be affected by the changing of the color selection you made on the frame. You can remedy this by making minor adjustments to the lighting or saturation or whatever in the selection tab until it looks just right. In the Creative tab in Colors, you can adjust sharpness. 50 is the sweet spot. Vibrance is not as harsh as saturation. Then there's the Curves panel, where you can change brightness, the darkness, and different points to make midtones darker or give video different color tints. And then I had to continue the notes into the diet journal pillar, so I had to make a little wall to block those words off. Pro notes continued. Color wheels and match allows you to match new shots with color grading or trying to replicate. This concludes color lessons. All right, so if you go to color wheels and match, it uses the power of AI to take a color correction you did on a previous shot and apply it to another shot. And it's supposed to give you it's not perfect. It doesn't do an exact job, but it does give approximation of what the shot is supposed to look like when properly color corrected, when it's using the artificial intelligence to base its color correction on the shot that you previously did, and you want it to be affect the uncolor corrected shot. So that's what that meant. And that concludes the color lessons. Next time, audio mixing. So that's cool. And in the diet journal, I made sure to write the time and feelings and foods that I was eating through that time. So here in diet journal, 8:15, feeling hungry. 8:45 a.m. Ate 2 fried eggs, 2 fried bacons, 2 artisanal golden wheat bread slices, and a cup of coffee. Feeling refueled and ready. 9:45 a.m. Finished exercising and feeling exhilarated. 9:55 p.m. Ate dinner, which included spaghetti, tomato sauce, 8 meatballs, and Perrier sparkling water. And I even had some See's candy truffles as well as some green tea. Then lines and shape notes. The cube, cylinder, and triangle are highly important because they are the building blocks to everything you want to draw in the natural world. It helps with drawing with purpose and form. There are a multitude of ways of drawing anything with those shapes. And yeah, I might as well show you what I drew. So yeah, that's all fine and dandy. Very nice. Yeah, so let's go ahead and show you. Let me turn on the light for now. Okay, so here are today's notes. We started off with a tutorial that basically said let loose and just do your thing and, you know, hope it works out. I noticed that's a theme with a lot of these tutorials. They always start with you just kind of being told to just draw a bunch of lines and round shapes and things like that to get in tune with your creative side. Okay. Next up, we have shapes and what to do about them. So apparently it's important to learn how to draw shapes because everything is made of shapes if you look hard enough at it. And that allows you to break things down. And when you break things down into simplistic shapes, it becomes easier to see what looks good and what looks whack. So yeah, I was told to draw these shapes here. There you go. And let me see the last thing I did. There's this guy, I don't know if you can see him on the TV right there, but That was the last tutorial I was watching for the day. It's like an hour and like it's from the YouTube channel, the Drawing Database. It's got 2.6 million views. It was released 7 years ago, and it's the basics: your three best friends, cube, sphere, and cylinder. And it's 2 hours and 8 minutes long, and it's a deep dive on this this fellow gentleman's interpretation on how to draw shapes and why shapes are important. And most of the notes I took for shapes and lines was taken from this guy. So, and it wasn't even a lot of text because I want to do more drawing, but you know, I was just following along with what he was showing in the video, if you can see that. And that's about it. I am ready for bed. And tomorrow is a day off, but I'm not going to make it so that means I'm going to ignore my responsibilities. I'm going to still keep going on those. But, you know, it's nice that work is stalling for now so I can just, you know, once I'm done with my tasks, I can relax. Who knows, maybe play a game, maybe film some footage, work on editing the family vacation video. The possibilities are endless. But anyways, thank you for tuning in and have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day, night, evening, or yeah, that's about it. Okay, see you.